4 interceptions are, just part of his problem. We're going to see in a moment the other part of his problem. Is what the quarterbacks get paid so much for. Gregory hitting him pretty good.
And Gregory, of course, led the...
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out the video. And welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much, everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you can give this video a thumbs up, or maybe leave a comment below, or possibly share this video, it would mean so much to me. But anyway, just thank you for taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. I got some injury news here. Dante Pettis is he's on the IR. His shoulder injury. All right. He's trying to recover. He was trying to recover a muff punt on the Monday night game against Kansas City, and that's where he pretty much hurt his shoulder. So they'll be on the IR. He'll get to join David Sills and endless other wide receivers we have being hurt. Shepard, he'll be out. He's got a quad injury. So this will be, he's had a hamstring and now he's had a quad injury. So just can't keep the guy healthy. And it's kind of up in the air still if whether Saquon had the thing going on with the COVID. The Giants had a bunch of false positives pop up. Well, he's okay with the COVID. He's still kind of iffy as far as whether he's going to be playing on Sunday or not, but it doesn't look like he will. The only good thing about that, is that if he doesn't play Sunday, we have the bye week coming up, so that'll give him another 2 weeks, and actually 2 weeks plus, because the next time we come back will be on Monday night in Tampa against the Buccaneers. So that'll give him another couple weeks, and so hopefully this will be game 9. So after we come back, if he can play against the Buccaneers, he'll have 8 games. Hopefully, knock on wood. Hopefully the final 8 games we can get him in there and maybe he can finish out the season without stepping on anybody else's foot and twisting his ankle. But as I said, it doesn't look like he's going to wind up playing this week. But then we got Lorenzo Carter. Okay, he's out with his ankle. And then we got Nate Ebner. He's out. He's got an ankle. Nate Ebner just was having problems with the quad. Now he's got a problem with an ankle. All right. But then on the bright side of life, we got Kenny Golladay. He's listed as kind of questionable. Okay, he was limited in practice on Thursday and Friday, but he was out doing some stuff. Wasn't doing the full team drills, but he was limited. But he was out there. Now, just listening to what he's saying and reading and all that, obviously he wants to be out there, but he was saying he has to kind of see how his body's reacting, to the back-to-back practices that he has and all and everything. He just wants to see how his body responds. So that's up in the air. So hopefully, maybe, we'll see him. And even if he gets a little banged up, if he plays, if we're lucky enough and he gets banged up, he'll have 15 days actually to hopefully recover again. So we'll have to wait and see. And then, of course, John Ross, he's questionable. He's got a quad. But what I'm not seeing is Kadarius Toney. I was listening to Joe Judge, one of his press conferences, and he was talking about Kadarius Toney, with his thumb. He was out there, he was running around, catching the ball, so looking good. So hopefully, he'll be out there in full strength because we can use him. If we can get Darius Slayton out there, if we have what? We have to have Colin Johnson out there. But if we can get Kadarius Toney out there, Evan Ingram out there, maybe Kyle Rudolph out there, Darius Slayton. Let's see. If we can get Kenny Golladay out there, that will give us, between Toney, Golladay, and Slayton, that'll give us 3 wide receivers. All right, so then we should have a full complement of tight ends. Okay, Caden Smith's going to have his knee, and I'm sure he's going to have a problem with his knee all year long. But Kyle Rudolph and then Evan Ingram. So hopefully, if we get the 3 wide receivers out there, that'll be huge. Okay. The problem is going to be, the Raiders have a very good pass rush. And we don't have the most dominating offensive line. So that's going to be very interesting. Daniel Jones is going to be taking a lot of real 3-step, 5-step drops and just trying to get rid of the ball as fast as he can. Either that or going to have him roll out, get away from maybe the pass rush or whatever, like he did against Carolina. Just to try to avoid the rush as much as possible. So, that'll be interesting to see. But, if we can get Golladay in there, I said, Ross is still questionable, But Golladay, if we get Slayton and maybe Kadarius Toney, that would be very, very helpful. And as I said, probably not going to have Saquon, but we'll have Devontae Booker there. So we'll have to see. Now, one thing I was also checking up on it, and I also saw a little article on this too, is about Quincy Roche. Now, he's the guy that we got, the Steelers drafted him from the Miami Hurricanes, from the U, in the 6th round, and they let him go. We scoffed him up. Good thing we did. He's been doing pretty good. He's only, the first few games that he played, he was only in just a handful of snaps. But the last couple weeks, last 2 weeks, he's been in 73 snaps. Okay, he doesn't have any sacks. All right, but he's been doing pretty good for his last 2 weeks. 73 snaps. Okay, he's had 4 quarterback hurries. All right, and he's had 6 total tackles. All right, so 73 snaps. That would be like one real long game. If the Giants were really having a horrible day and the other team had 73, could have 73 offensive plays. So you're looking at something like that. He had 4 quarterback hurries, okay, and he's had 6 tackles. So he's kind of getting up to speed. He played 50 snaps, I believe it was, last week. All right, so he's starting to. I think he had the game against Carolina. I think he had 23 snaps. Then last week he had 50. So he's starting to get they're starting to give him more and more snaps, but also Lorenzo Carter is out too, so that helps. But if you look at what he's been doing compared to like the last 2 games that Lorenzo Carter played in, okay, the last 2 games that Lorenzo Carter played in was against the Rams and against Carolina. Okay, he had 75 snaps. Okay, Quincy Roche was in 73 snaps. He had 4 quarterback hurries. All right, Lorenzo Carter was in 75 snaps. He had 1 quarterback hurry. In his 75 snaps, he had 3 tackles. Quincy Roche had 6. Okay, and Quincy Roche, as we speak, is healthy. Lorenzo Carter is not, once again. Remember Lorenzo Carter got hurt. It is what it is, and you can't blame the guy, but again, the guy's hurt. Then we got the X-Man, Oshane Ximines, all right. Now, the whole season, all right, now he hasn't had a boatload of snaps in any game in particular, all right? So he's just been kind of sprinkled in here, a little sprinkled in there, but the whole season he only has 7 total pressures. He had 3 against the Chiefs, okay? So, not bad there. But if you take away the Chief game to the rest of the season, right, that would be, 7 games. If you take this Chief game away, it would be 7 other games. He would have 4 total pressures in 7 games. He has no sacks. Doesn't have any sacks. Between Roche, Carter, and the X-Men, they have no sacks. As we got Azeez Ojulari, okay, thankfully, but these Quincy Roche is, he's a 6th-round pick. He's not real expensive. He's a rookie, okay, so hopefully we can keep him around because we let Lorenzo Carter go. We keep Quincy Roche. There you go, right? And the X-Man, Oshane Ximines, in the 8 games that we've played in, okay, he has 9 tackles and he has 2 assisted tackles. So he's been on 11 tackles altogether the whole season. Quincy Roche has had 6 in the past 2 games. All right, so hopefully, we get Azeez. All right, keep him in there. But we could keep sprinkling Quincy Roche in there, getting him in there a little bit more. Because also what Patrick Graham was saying, he's trying to learn the defense too. It's just not okay. go rush the quarterback. No, there's more to that. So he's got to learn the defense. So as he's becoming more and more comfortable, he's getting more and more plays. So looks like Quincy Roche, hopefully, knock on wood, hopefully he's here to stay. Hopefully he's a keeper, because, I mean, it's not like, we're paying him a boatload of money. All right, this is his first season. He's a rookie. Okay, he is, let me see, he's 6'3", 245. He's 23. Okay, he'll be 24 in February. So he's just 23. All right, he's a rookie. Pittsburgh Steelers took him in the 6th round, pick number 217, obviously out of Miami, Florida. The U, right? So, right, you got to have a nice, at least a backup piece. I mean, somebody you can certainly put out there, and hopefully as time goes by, hopefully he gets a little bit better. Maybe we have ourselves a nice little edge rusher, right? So something just maybe a little good, feel-good story. I mean, if you can. I mean, because so much negativity we've had this year. It's nice to, get a little bit of ray of sunshine in there. So just keep an eye on Quincy Roche, and just hopefully, wish him nothing but the best, because as he goes, we go. All right, so just keep that in mind. Then, of course, just to wrap this up, I want to Odell Beckham Jr. Now, it's always fair; it never fails. I mean, somebody gets cut, and you just start seeing these stories. Should the Giants go after so and so? And so of course, then you got Odell Beckham Jr. Now, I forgot who it was. Somebody wanted to. Let's see, was it here? Okay. Oh, yeah, all right, okay, here we go. Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, okay. Let's see. He said that some of the teams that he's picking that Beckham might land on, well, it might be the Raiders, the Saints, the Seahawks, right? And some of the other teams might be the Panthers, the 49ers, but he mentioned a couple sleeper teams, and one of them just happened to be the New York Football Giants. Well, that would be interesting, But he's I've seen where the Cleveland's like, I guess, letting him go, but they did his contract. So basically, he's played pretty much like half the season. So I guess they kind of like paid him for like half the season. So now, he's still owed. I was seeing $7 million. I saw $8 million. So he's still owed $7 to $8 million, right around there. So if you're going through waivers, okay, I guess there's like the pecking order, like the Lions would be number one, and then you got all the crappy teams. You got the Jaguars, you got the Dolphins, you got the Jets, you got the Giants. You got all the bad teams in there. The Texans. If one of those teams want to scoop them up, they have to pay them for the rest of the season. So they're going to have to come up with $7 to $8 million. All right. Now, the Giants only have about $2 million. Period. Now Odell's healthy, okay, but he wasn't kind of like in the beginning of the season. He missed a little bit of time. But one of the things that they were talking about is as far as the sleeper teams, because the Giants are pretty much hard to say decimated by injuries. I mean, they are. But a guy misses a game or two, and then he comes back, and somebody else gets hurt. So they just keep. We can never get all the guys on the field at the same time. So that's where I guess this kind of story lands. He was talking about the Giants. This would be something. The Giants have been battered with injuries at the skill positions. All right, so so that's why he kind of Jeremy Fowler kind of put this in, that maybe the Giants were kind of interested in maybe possibly picking him up. Now if he doesn't clear waivers. Okay, if he somebody doesn't pick him up clear waiver, then he just becomes basically a free agent. Okay, but if somebody tries just to pick him up, like the Giants or the Jets or the Texans or the Dolphins or something like that, and just gonna pay his salary for this year, unless they plan on paying him long term also as well. If they're just gonna pick him up this year, it's like. It'd be just like maybe to sell tickets. If Odell came back, right? I don't know off the top of my head exactly how many home games we have left, But I mean, that would certainly help sell some tickets if Odell came back. You know, but is he going to make us a contender? No, because we have, we need an offensive line. You know, before we need another wide receiver. All right, we got plenty of wide receivers. They're just all hurt. And Odell Beckham, in the past, has gotten hurt. Okay, he's also, had some problems up here. That's one of the reasons why we let him go. But he's missed some time. Okay, he's missed 27 games over the last 5 years. Right, so he's missed almost two full seasons over the last 5 years. Okay, and that includes this year, and this year's not even over. All right, now his first 3 years. Okay, this is his 8th season. All right, his first 3 years. All right, he only missed 5 games. Okay, the last 5 seasons he's missed 27 games. The last 5 years. Only one time in the last 5 years has he played all 16 games. Actually, in his 8-year career, it's only been 2 years that he's played all 16 games. Okay, one was 2016, okay, with the Giants, and one of the years was with the Browns. He played all 16 games. All the other years, he's been injured. His first year with the Giants, he missed the first 4 games because of a hamstring problem. Okay, so he missed 12 games. His second season, he only missed 1 game. His third season, he played all 16 games. But after that, his third season, after 2016, it just got all downhill after that. Okay, his first year, there's no question in the ability. Now, his ability now, with the plethora of injuries he's had, the lower body injuries he's had, his quickness isn't there as much as it was. His speed is not there as much as it was. I'm sure his catching ability is still, top notch. But his breakaway and speed and quickness and all that stuff, can't be what it was back when he first came in because all the injuries he's had. Now his first season, all right, he was so good. How good was he? He was so good. He caught 91 balls his first season, and he missed 4 games. He missed a quarter of the season, and he still caught 91 balls. If he played all 16 games at that pace, he would add 121 or 122 receptions in his rookie season. He would have had over 1,700 yards, about 1,750 yards receiving his rookie season. All right. He would have had he had 12 touchdowns in 12 games, so he would have had 16 touchdowns his rookie season. Absolutely phenomenal. He would have had over 100 catches his second season, but he missed 1 game. His third season, he played all 16 games, he had 101 catches. So if he was healthy his first 3 years, he would have had 100 receptions all first 3 years. Just absolutely, unbelievably phenomenal. But, it's with his injuries. It's with his, now whether he's grown up at all, who knows? But that's the problems he's had. That's one of the reasons. One of the reasons why kind of let him go. It's also kind of funny to think about because Dave Gettleman would probably have to be the one on the phone, maybe to pick the phone up and call, hey, Odell, how you doing? It's your buddy Dave Gettleman here, right? And I always go back and kind of remember Dave Gettleman was talking about. Are you going to think about trading Odell Beckham? No. And Dave Gettleman's like, we just signed him to a nice big contract. He's like, we didn't sign him to trade him. And then about like a month or so later, they wound up trading him to the Cleveland Browns. So, go figure. But that would be very, very interesting if Dave Gettleman had to pick the phone up and try to contact Odell. Now, there's also that, I don't know if he'd want to come here. I know he, maybe, inside he maybe would love to be here and all, but wouldn't he like to go to a winner? You know what I mean? There's so many good teams out. The Patriots. Maybe Mac Jones, right? You got Bill Belichick there. It's tough to beat him, all right? But maybe going to some of these other teams, like maybe the Chiefs or the Saints. The Raiders, they just lost Ruggs, right? Get Odell Beckham there, right? Team him up with Aaron Rodgers. Holy cow, right? I'd hate to see him with the Cowboys because Michael Gallup's been out, but and Cooper, he might have to, he's hurt. So, I mean, that would be interesting. Or have him go to the Steelers or maybe the Titans. Or maybe go to the Colts and help Carson Wentz out for the end of the season. Or maybe go to the Bills. I mean, wouldn't you want to go to one of those teams instead? I mean, why would you want to, come to, you're not winning nothing. You're not coming here to win nothing. And if the Giants were to sign him, they'd have to let so many guys go. They'd have to lose so much money in dead cap money they would want to lose. It would be crazy just to have him come back and sign him again. I mean, it just wouldn't make any sense. I can't see it happening. It would be pretty cool, I mean, we had that one magical season, Saquon Barkley's rookie season, 2018, right? We had the fearsome foursome. We had the greatest wide receiver of all time Giants history, period, bar none. As far as like mismatch, all right, we had Odell Beckham. Right? Now he doesn't have the greatest numbers because Amani Toomer was here longer and all that, but you put him out there, period, in his prime, period. Odell Beckham Jr. is the greatest, all right, wide receiver the Giants have ever had. Then you had Saquon Barkley in the backfield. Now he won't have the numbers that Tiki Barber had because he keeps getting hurt all the time. But period, bar none, the most gifted athletic running back we've ever had, Saquon Barkley, right? Then we had, I want to hear this, Evan Ingram, the biggest mismatch, I mean, with speed, okay, right, that we've ever had. I mean, Jeremy Shockey was a huge mismatch. Jeremy Shockey was good catching the ball. Evan Ingram's not. But Evan Ingram is a very tough one to match up because of his speed, his size and his speed. Very difficult to match up against. Then, of course, we had our greatest quarterback of all time throwing the ball. Now, he was at the end of his career, couldn't throw the ball as well and all, but we had Eli Manning. We had that magical season in 2018, right, where we had like all the fearsome foursome all out there. Right, so they were all a little nicked up here or there, so maybe they weren't always on the field at the same time, but 2018 was pretty magical. But I can't see the Giants bringing him back. He's too much of or was a head case. He's going to cost them money. They don't have any money, and the one thing they don't need is bringing in another wide receiver who gets hurt a lot. And the last bunch of years, he's got hurt. And the last thing the New York Giants need this year is another hurt wide receiver. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants.